Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am here today on my local ground, which is Old Colwyn. I haven't fished this spot for a number of years. I don't know why, but I haven't. But I've turned up here to now, and I'm going to show you something in a minute of just how Mother Nature can change the surroundings, or can actually change the beach itself. Quite often, though, you'll think when you turn up to a mark, you'll expect like a gully that was there, say, a few months prior. But no, Mother Nature out there quite often changes the environment. And I'm going to show you something now. This just goes to show how much the beach around you changes. Now, I fished this mark for many a years, and there used to be a bit lower than that, but there used to be like a good stack of rock below me here. Now this is just like a sheer sandbank which has been churned up by the sea. So a lot of you have seen my previous videos. I used to fish literally there, and yeah, you could never fish on this little sandbank which I've got here now in front of me, because you'd have a big stack of rock like this now all the way down. Now over the last couple of years, all this sand has basically built up to here, and it's created a natural sandbank. So yeah, I haven't looked at this spot for a while, and it's amazing how Mother Nature can change the environment around you. So yeah, I just find that like crazy, like absolutely crazy. However, let's get into the fishing. I've just knocked up a quick pulley pennel. I don't know if you see that, the beads which I put on. I put about 5 beads, 6 beads after the pulley bead there. And I found like that helps just kick it away from the rig body and stops it from tangling. Well, yeah, I've got on the pulley today on this rod. I need to cut that tag end off, but I've got some a Vadavas big mouth extra on the bottom, and just a discreet little circle hook there. So I'm going to give that a go on one rod, and then I'm going to go on the estuary rig. Obviously it's not tied yet, but basically what you do, you have your main rig body at 2 foot, and then you come up about halfway, and then you have a 2 foot trace then coming down to your hook. But I'm going to try the pulley on this one, and yeah, the estuary rig. So yeah, I'm excited for this. A couple of hours on my local spot, see what I can do. But I've got something to show you as well. Have a look at this. So in the actual clean box of death, well, this one's mine, like, I've got some spider peelers. Now, Bluefin are actually selling these at the moment. I think they're $3.99 for the small ones, £4 I think for the big ones. Well, that is a spider peeler. Now, a lot of you have seen the video recently, a lot of Bluefin's videos, Vince Knight demonstrating how to sort of prepare a bait of these, because they are, as you can see, they're very, very spiky. They can yeah, be a menace to a lot of people. But all you do basically is you get like a little hammer or scissors or whatever. You just break the shell and you pull it off in bits. So you take the legs off, and then you just literally get the meat out, as Vince calls it, custard, you'll say.
Absolutely, so much custard in there, so much scent.
But yeah, I'm going to give that a go tonight. And the only other bait I've got literally is sandeel and squid wrap. That is it. No fresh rag, no lug, no nothing. A couple of spiders. A couple of hours on my local mark, just to see what I can do. Whether it'll fish well, I don't know, but there is, as you can see, a lovely swell there tonight. Lovely colour to the water. I'm going into darkness as well with the fishing, so I should imagine I should do a fish or two, he says. But yeah, me looking at that water, I quite fancy my chances. On this mark, I don't know, I haven't fished it for a long time, so I'll just have to give it a go. If I catch, I catch. If I don't, I don't. Alright then, let's see how easy this is or how hard it is. So apparently you just take the legs off, but you keep them legs because those legs are actually full of meat themselves. Now, as Vince Knight says, there's a lot of custard in these.
absolutely so much custard in there, so much scent.
So I'm about to find out how messy it'll be. Well, like you say, keep the legs. The legs are full of meat, which I'll be doing them in a bit. Now, this is a perfect tool for the job. It is a big T-bar, but it's got quite some weight to it. So apparently, you just crack the shell a few times like that. And then you pick at the shell, sort of thing. And it's supposed to have like a membrane in there. There you go, that was quite easy with that one. But what you've got to watch for as well is these are really, really sharp. So they will literally take you know, skin off and make it bleed and stuff, so you've got to be careful when you're doing it. But so far, you know, I'm liking that. Now they are still a bit frozen, which is not a problem. Look how easy that is. You got the right tool for the job. But yeah, there's a membrane in there is what he says, which is like quite sticky. But so far, while it's frozen like that, that's not too bad. Look at that, it's come straight on. Lovely. So now I'm left with the top side, which is ready to go. It's the same again, just work your way around it, pull all that shell off, all the bait, or all the hard shell. Apparently says, rip the mouth out.
Great big mouthpiece. That's literally its teeth. I'll show you, look. Literally its teeth.
What he says, somewhere in there is a mouth to it, but at the moment it's quite, yeah, it's quite solid still. Well, there's the mouth. That's the mouth again. It's the other side of the mouth anyway. God, if there's anyone walking past on this prom, they're going to be laughing at me here. There's a bait ready to go. If I was to cut that now, that's a lovely bait. The top half of its head all soft. But yeah, I just need to keep taking some of this bottom half of it, so keep smashing it up. Break it on up. Well, that's all great. Absolutely great. But you can feel the meat in it already. There's not a lot of shell in that, to be fair. On the bottom half, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's ready. That's all pretty much ready, that, I'd say. Yeah, got a bit of solidness in the legs there. But, to be fair, that's not too bad. It's supposed to be a deadly bait. Like a really, really good bait, apparently. But yeah, you can just feel that now. It's quite soft all the way down. There's a lot going on here. There's a police car coming past now. Don't know what's going on. There's a fire engine up there and everything. But anyway, back on the crab. So yeah, that's not bad. I like that. We'll see how well it fishes tonight. So I shot up the bluefin and I grabbed 10 for myself. But yeah, I reckon you can get quite a bit of bait out of that. So, get all that off my box. I've got my legs there for later on. Let's chop a nice little chunk off. Go straight off with his head, I think. Like that. That's quite nice. A lot of custard in there, he says. That's a nice bait, that, to be fair. Right, so what we want to do, bait elastic it now. But at this moment, it's quite frozen still, which is still good. I think if it was thawed out, it'd be a bit, yeah, a bit hit and miss. There's the custard starting to go now. That looks a rather nice bait. I think that's going to go off tonight. The hound lands in front of that. If there's any hounds out there anyway. But yeah, I quite like that as a bait already. That's beautiful. So then, let's get it out there. Right, what I am going to do is just drop that down a little bit. One thing I have forgot to do is bend my new grippers out, so I'll be doing that first. Well, getting my hands covered in castid. Here we are. Drop that out of the way. Let it swing back. Grab it. And, as always, put it in there out the way. So then, let's get this first bait out. I'm intrigued. I don't know if it's the right area. I don't know if there's hounds coming out at the moment. I'd assume so. Yeah, I've not really heard much reports on the place, but there's only one way to find out, isn't there, guys? And that is to get one of these custody looking baits out there as quick as I can. Well, I'm going to make sure that's got plenty of bait elastic on there. Yeah, I quite fancy that bait. That's a lovely bait. It really is a nice bait, that. Right, let's chuck that top panel in and then get it out there quickly, because that tide is looking beautiful. It's looking like it'll do a fish or two that tonight. Ready to rock and roll, guys. Yeah, it is custody. I feel it's all sticky. Oh well, we're fishermen. We're used to that thing. Like I said, I don't know what this will fish tonight, guys. You know, if I had a choice, I'd be elsewhere, but let's just do a session on my local and see if I can winkle a fish or two out. Let's go for it. New line on it as well, so I hope it doesn't, like, yeah, tangle up on the cast, because it's not even been stretched yet, but we'll soon find out. Right, I could do with giving it a good whack, to be fair. Get it right out there. Off it goes. That'll do me. Don't know what that little 6-ounce lead's gonna do like out there, but yeah, we'll soon see. Now, one thing you've got to do when you are hound fishing, now there is a certain guy I know in particular who nearly lost his rod the other day. Yeah, the old GKJ forgot to set his drag. Well, there we go, that's ready to go. At least we've got one bait in the water. I'll quickly do that one now, chuck it out, and we'll see if we can get a hound on the bank on this super duper spider crab from Bluefin. Now then, that one's got a bit more of this famous custard, what you keep saying. There's a lot of it there. An awful lot of it there compared to that first bit I had off. Casted. Now I know why he's saying it, because it literally is casted. And if you're wondering why I'm talking in a southern accent there, old Vince Knight is, yeah, he's very southern. From Essex, I believe, and a very good angler. And he's just showed some videos on Bluefin's main channel of how to, yeah, prepare a bait like this. But yeah, with the standing joke with casted, yeah, that is oh so custardy. And like he says, that's just gonna leak attraction out there, you know. It's gonna go straight into the water column, and the fish should find it. Unless you're me, and then they probably won't find it, because I'm fishing in Old Colwyn. Yeah, fishing on this coast recently has been hit and miss. I know that for a fact. Yeah, fishing this time of year is up and down. So I'm not overly confident, but you've got to try these things, haven't you? I'm going to say a few hours out of the house on my local spot. Why the hell not, guys? Let's get this other one out. Now this is a little bit more and a little bit more custody than the other one, so we'll just see the difference. And there we go. I've gone on a 6-ounce pyramid there, only because of how sandy this place is. But yeah, that looks a lovely bait. I just hope there's hounds about. If there is, it'll be sure to pick one up. But like I say, there's only one way to find out, and that's to lump a bait out as quick as I can. Off it goes. It's not as far as I would have liked that, but it's out there. It's quite tight behind me with me being where I am and the prom behind me. But that was yeah, it was far enough out. One thing I always like to make sure as well, guys, is a lot of people will set the drag, but then they'll put as they put the rods on the pod, they'll put the line in the cup, but I always put the line underneath that cup, but just remembering to move that line before you strike it. And there we go, we'll give that 20 minutes and then rebait definitely the left hand one. I'll leave that one in for a little bit longer. But if there's fish in that area, I should think they'll pick up on that pretty quickly. Well, let's look at that chop today. It's got to do some fish. Well, so far, this is looking like an episode of how not to see fish. Not even a nibble yet, nothing. The rods have been in 25 minutes, but I'm about an hour off high water. So I'm gonna bring the Prevail in and just see what's going on with that bait. See how the seas sort of washed it away, if it has. It looks really, really fishy. It looks like it will do a fish with that swell. Not much weed in the water from what I can see yet. There is a little bit close in here now, but so far not even a nibble, which is not good, because that's not what I want. I want to catch a fish on me local. Alright, there's a little bit of weed, but I just caught that close in then. But the main thing what I want to do at the moment is just see if that spider crab is like being washed out by the sea being so strong, sort of thing. But yeah, there's pretty much no bait left on that one. Okay, so now I know on the next cast I can afford to go for a bigger bait, because I've literally just been left with a bit of skin on that one. Right, okay, so bait up often with what I've got. I might even decorate the next one with a bit of that squid and sand eel, and just put a bit of that around the bait. Might make a difference. Well, I've just noticed now, looking down, that with these swells coming in, this sandbank which I'm stood on is getting narrower and narrower as the swell smashes in there. So if I stay there, I think my pod's just going to end up disappearing into the sea. So I best move back a little bit. Just change the angle of the pod slightly, because yeah, that wouldn't be good, would it? I'm noticing each time like that swell's hitting this bank in front of me, it's yeah, it's getting swept away. But I don't know how long this bank's been here for. Yeah, I've never seen this like patch of sand here, so I don't know, but for some reason that's like, yeah, getting narrower and narrower, so I might end up on the prom in a bit for safety. And how long have I got till? Yeah, I've got half an hour to high water, so it might end up breaching this bank, but it looks like it's not breached this bank today. I think it's because it's churning up, it's chopping up a little bit. That's why the bank's just getting eroded away. But yeah, the only reason I think this bank could be here is when it does get choppy, the prom gets a lot of sand on it. So whether you've got builders and stuff, or the council which dump the sand here over the railings. Oh, is that a bite? Oh, left-hand rod's starting to do something here. Okay. Yeah, well, as I was saying, whether the council have like dumped the sand from the prom straight over the barrier to here, I don't know. What I'm doing is checking where the icon is on there, so I know if the drag's been going or not. And that is starting to, yeah, starting to go. But there is a lot of seaweed on the line, which I've just seen, so that's what that is. Thinking it's a bite, but as the line's bowed down, the seaweed's sort of bouncing. Oh, come on, the fish. I need a fish on me local. Ah, come on. Just one on my home ground and I'd be happy as Larry. all I've got in my head at the moment, right, is Bluefin's new video of Vince Knight doing the speeder bait. Chop it up, whip it up, bait elastic, sausage. Chop it up, whip it up, bait elastic, no bite. Yeah, no bites. Well, one bite, just. And it is now sausage time. No, it's now 20 to 10, so it's nearly high water. So if it's going to kick off, it's going to kick off soon. Within the first hour into the ebb. But with that bite then, on the peeler bait as well, it's got me thinking now. I was just going to admit defeat early and just go home. Because if there was a load of hounds out there, I'd be sure to be catching them now. But I did say at the start of the video, I don't quite know if they're still here or if they have been here. But it's always worth a shot, isn't it? You know, if I had me choices, I'd be somewhere on the Menai tonight or Anglesey. But sometimes you haven't got the time to get there, and you know, by the time I get there, it's an hour's drive for me. And then by the time you've fished and stuff, sometimes it's like, the next best thing is fish on your doorstep, and yeah, this is what I'm trying to do. But I'm doing everything right, you know. The baits are bang on, the rigs are spot on. If there's fish there, I'm going to catch them. But at the moment, it's not looking promising. But anyway, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. I show fishing exactly how it is. I'd love to bring your fish right in now and bringing fish after fish after fish, but let's be honest with you, that's fishing. You can't catch them all. And if you are lucky to live next to a good body of water, then you're going to be into the fish. But yeah, I show everything how it is. Bring a bit of banter to the channel every now and then with my little sidekick Roger, which I'll bring you onto another subject in a minute. Yeah, hit the subscribe button. But on to Roger. Now, you're probably wondering on the last 2 videos, where's Roger? Now then, Roger at the moment is feeling a little bit deflated. Now, he might not like me saying this, right? But let's be honest with you, you need to talk about it. So Roger's a bit, I think he's burnt out with work and stuff, and yeah, he's beat up basically. And I keep telling him, come on Roger, let's go out, let's get out fishing. Now, he was going to come out fishing tonight, but I think he has had a hectic day in work. So what I want you to do, if you can, is fill the comment sections and fill it with positivity for my little sidekick Roger. Let him know that Roger should be here now fishing here with me. You know, fill it with positivity. Give him banter in the comments as well, because he'll be watching, he'll be reading. Yeah, if you can do that, at least Roger will see that and he'll think, do you know what, let's go fishing. And then I might be able to try and get him out by Friday. Get my little sidekick back. I feel lost without him. It's not the same, is it? It's not the same. One thing that is good though is I don't have to watch my back 24/7 when he's around. But yeah, fill it full of positivity for me if you can do. Well, I'm gonna put one more bait out there because I just don't think there's any fish out there. I don't. If it was gonna happen, it would have happened. And the tide is now turning, so yeah, one more bait out there. And I'm going to cross my fingers and hopefully it'll happen. There's just no fish. So yeah, one more big bait on that, and then that is it. I'm admitting defeat, but that's fishing, guys. The fish are either there or they're not. And tonight, I think the fish are like miles away from me. Right, let's get it out there. Last bait, 10 minutes, all or nothing. Stuff it. Go big or go home now. Nice lump. Spider peeler going out there. Come on. Right down. All or nothing now. At least I've tried it. I know now that I probably only fish this again in the winter potentially. The other rod I am going to bring in. That's been out for a while, that one, and yeah, there's no way I'm baiting that up again now. I'm going to sit it out on there. Spider peeler. But I've enjoyed myself. That's the main thing, guys. It's about being out here and just taking it all in, regardless if there's fish there or not, or bait on anyway. Well, I've given it a good go, but I hope you've enjoyed this video regardless of me catching a fish or not. I'm happy I've given it a go because I've not fished it for 2 years. If it was the winter, or if I was to fish it again, it would probably be lugworm or ragworm potentially. But like I said, if the fish ain't there, you're just not going to catch them. And tonight it was more of a recce for myself. I seen that this spot was free. It's changed a little bit, and you know, it enticed me with these, you know, with how choppy that sea was tonight and coloured up. It looked like it would do a fish or two, but it hasn't. So yeah, I'm done. If you are new to the channel, as I said before, please hit that subscribe button. Every little helps really. I'm pushing like crazy on the channel. I try my best. Got my little sidekick now whenever he feels better. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, buckle up, fasten your seatbelts, because it's carnage at times. But I'll show everything as it is. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back out on Friday. But I've tried. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.